Hello, Omar.
Gee, can you see me? Can you hear me?
Hey, oh, I can hear you.
Oh, good, good deal. How you doing, brother?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you
I'm
clearly.
good.
How are
I'm not
you?
sure where I'm hearing from. Okay. Yeah, so let me log
Okay,
out of StreamYard. I can't.
you got it. Okay, and I see we got two people in the waiting room, or two people have joined us. Thank you, thank you. We appreciate you supporting us today. And so this is new for us. This is actually my first time ever going live. No, that's not true. We've done a couple of interviews, but I've never hosted it. And we're using a platform right now called StreamYard that is brand new to me. So we're able to live stream on multi social media platforms at one time. So right now we are live on YouTube, our YouTube channel, Self Mastery Retreats International. Like, support, share that if you will, and also on Facebook Live. And so I lost Dr. G for a minute, and he'll be back. But if you can, I see we got two people who are viewing live. I'm not able to see who you are. If you're able, if you would just drop your name in the chat, and then we're going to get started with our presentation once Dr. G gets back. Today, I am in Morelia, Mexico, and G is at home, at our home in Puerto Morelos, where the retreat will be held. And like I said, this is a new platform for me, so I just want to try something real quick. Oh, okay, that works perfectly. Wow. Yeah. And so I'm sharing the screen right now. I believe you should be able to see the first slide, which is just a picture of Dr. G and I. And Dr. G is coming into the room now. And so now he is on deck. Welcome back, brother. How are you? G, can you hear me?
I can't.
You cannot?
I can't.
Oh, good, good, good. Well, welcome, man. Um, G, what I'm thinking is that we've been live now for approaching 7 minutes. I'm thinking, we got Gerard Morrison in the room. That's my brother. Uh, this is StreamYard, Gerard. It's pretty user friendly, man. It's my first time accessing it, but again, it allows us to go live across multiple platforms. So right now, as I said, we're live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and I'm not sure. I'm having some problems with the Instagram Live. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. Actually, I'm going to try it. Let's see what happens if I do this. No, that's too in depth, too detailed. So, man,
Brother's gonna work it out. Brother's gonna work it out.
yeah, exactly. It's going to happen exactly like it's supposed to happen. That's correct, Gerard. StreamYard. So, G, because this is recorded, man, why don't we just jump in? We don't have to wait for anybody to join us. People can watch it at their leisure. And so I'll get started by just introducing who we are. We're Self Mastery Retreats International. We've hosted one retreat earlier this year, the Black Man Self Mastery Retreat. Our inaugural retreat was a huge success. We brought 14 men together at the same location, the Lunita Jungle Experience in Puerto Morelos. And we'll be bringing another group of men in August 29th through September 2nd for a similar experience. We also have an event scheduled in October, a retreat scheduled in October for racial healing and equity practitioners. G, you want to talk about how you come to your definition of self-mastery?
Yes. When I was placed on the path of self-mastery, really for the purpose of focusing on myself and healing myself and what I was dealing with, I looked out in the public arena to see how self-mastery was defined, to see what images were out there, and none of them really resonated with me. They tend to be images where there were primarily Caucasian men with big cars, very materialistic images. It didn't really focus on spirituality, which was driving me. So I asked Spirit to give me a definition. I went into meditation and said, give me a definition of what self mastery is. And in that meditation, these words came to me: self mastery is the practice of disciplining the mind and body for the purpose of spiritual growth and service to others. And that was all encompassing of where I wanted to be and who I wanted to be in the context of self mastery. It's a spiritual journey. It's also a journey of service to others as well. So this is how this definition came about. The other thing that I think that is valuable for me is that there wasn't really a precise definition of self-mastery out there. And so I wanted to give a contextual framework that was well defined, that created the roadmap, the blueprint for how I could achieve self-mastery in my life and also share that with people. And so the seven keys of the conceptual framework for developing the self-mastery mindset. It's clear, it's concise, it's a step-by-step progression and understanding, along with a clear definition of what self-mastery is.
Anyway, thank you, brother. And so real quick, our mission is to create opportunities for individuals to reach their full potential spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. And we do that primarily through retreats, creating 5 to 7 day experiences, actually 4 to 7 day experiences, where we're bringing people together in Puerto Morelos to work towards the goal of self-mastery. And with the understanding that it's a process. And so that's who we are. Exactly. It's a way of life. Thank you, Darrell, for the feedback. Again, this is our first time using the technology, and so we will master it as we move forward. But just a little bit about who I am. My name is Omar Hydro Buckner. I call Puerto Morelos, Quintana Roo, Mexico, my home. It's a small community between Playa del Carmen and Cancun. I've been there about 3.5 years. Before that, New Orleans, Chicago were my home. I've had a few other stops in between, but I've spent probably half of my life in each of those cities. I'm a father of 2 beautiful young girls, 14 and 16 years old, who live in New Orleans. I like to think of myself as a healer. I mean, I'm sorry, not as a healer, but as a weaver. my professional experience has varied, but when I look back on the work that I did or the work that I have done and am doing now, um, in different capacities, I think that one of the primary roles that I've played is bringing people together who might not normally be together. Um, and so I've done that work through racial healing, community building, organizational development, youth development work across the U.S. And at this point in my life, I'm still doing some work in Chicago, working in a high school, where I'm doing some solidarity building work. And I really love that work. I love this work. I feel like everything that I've been through personally, professionally, has led me to be in this place. And I feel I know that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be doing this work as a facilitator and retreat host with Self Mastery Retreats International. And so I'm gonna let my brother G introduce himself.
Yeah, I'll do that really quickly. I am from Harlem in the South Bronx. I grew up in New York City. I'm also the father of four children as well. Grown. So I have two grown children, adults, and I have two adolescent children. Um, and I identify myself as a self mastery practitioner. Um, I've been a psychologist, clinical psychologist since uh, 1999 and worked in the field since the 1980s and got my doctorate degree in clinical psychology in 1999. And so here at this point and stage of my life, I've kind of transcended into spiritual psychology, where everything is spiritual for me. And in my private practice, I work with clients using the seven keys to self mastery, teaching them how to become the practitioners in their own lives and master their own lives. And so, um, living here in Puerto Morelos, been here for 3 years, going on close to 4 years. I left the United States because I was tired of just the chaos, the madness, and all of the toxicity and energy in the United States after Trayvon, after the different murders that I've seen occur in the political situation, economic situation, and I just wanted to um, live a life where I could be happy, free, and experience just a beautiful environment that would sustain me and carry me for a long period of time. So hey, I live in a beach community that's beautiful. We've got a palm tree swinging outside my house, and that's the life that I live now. And Omar Bruckner and I met each other here in Puerto Morelos actually because people were mistaking me for him, and I was mistaken it so they were thinking we were the same person, and we met one day on the corner as brothers do, right? We meet on the corner, right? So we bumped into each other on the corner, and that's when friendship started. And over the course of the past 3 years, that's where the brotherhood has started. And so now we see each other as brothers. And this self mastery retreat is part of the growth and vision of the both of us here. I can't hear you, Omar. I can't hear you.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, I muted myself because Gerard was telling me there's some background noise. Um, and so we're gonna skip this slide, but Michael Fry is a brother who supports our work and may or may not be joining us on this retreat. There's some scheduling issues that we need to work out, but he's a dynamic facilitator, trainer, teacher, educator, and we love him dearly. Supports everything that we do. Um, a little bit about the retreat. And so this experience, came about, as G said, after we met, we began to connect, began to become friends and see some similarities in our journeys, our personal journeys, and, began having a conversation about a year and a half, 2 years before definitely a year before we decided we would do it, but probably close to 2 years before we actually began to put the idea on paper. And part of it stemmed from just a common journey, shared experiences, a deep love for each other, and deep love for our people, and also a yearning, a desire to bring men to our home, to share this experience with them. And so this is an experience created by us for Black men, where we bring you into our community. I call it, and then we're in the jungle at a very nice facility. But it's an opportunity for men to get away from that day-to-day, what we call grind, that stress associated with being a Black man living in the U.S. It's an opportunity for you to meet men who are on similar paths across the globe, to enhance your personal growth and to strengthen your work as you move towards self-mastery. And again, we do that in a 5-day experience in the jungle. And the framework is the framework that is created by my partner, brother, Dr. G. And so, so we explore, and not explore, but we dive deep into the 7 keys of self-mastery. It's also, I think, one of the things that we really want to focus on is to give men an opportunity. When we talk about that grind, is to step away from that and to be able to breathe. I picked up men from the airport, everybody who participated in our first retreat, and to see them and to hear them talk about, stepping off the plane, stepping out of the airport, to see a change in them, a physical change in them. For me, it was clear that the pace was different. The stress was eased. And so we want to provide that opportunity because we're in the jungle, we're connected with nature there. And we also have an experience, a day at the beach where we get a chance to get in the water, hang out in the sand, and just really ground ourselves with nature. And also, one of the things that I do that I didn't mention, I see myself as a community builder, facilitator. And so this is an excellent opportunity for that. And what we've seen from our first retreat is multiple connections and relationships that began at our retreat, but have continued through today. And so that's a key factor as well. And then the biggest, I think, one of the biggest takeaways is that you get to go home energized, encouraged, inspired with this toolkit, with this knowledge to enhance and support your practice. That's a little bit about the 5-day experience. G, you want to talk a little bit or add anything to that?
No, I was saying I think you covered it really well.
Okay, there you go. A little bit about the Lunita Jungle experience. It's the hotel where we convene. And it's no longer a hotel. Actually, our first retreat was their transitional moment from a hotel to a full-time retreat center. And they're a partner in this process. I met with them this morning, and they are fully operating as a retreat center right now, and they're booked all the way through April. So I'm proud and happy to have them as a partner. You see Jungle Experience, a jungle hotel, and we just want to be clear that this is probably not what you're imagining. G, how do you describe it as a? What do you?
I describe it as a boutique retreat experience, man. That's just beautiful. It's a gem surrounded by life, trees, and the accommodations are modern contemporary accommodations in the middle of the Mayan jungle, which has incredible energy. Just the energy of the land itself is transformative, and it will bring you into a state of homeostasis, and you'll feel different and more tranquil. So,
And what I'll do is, let's see if there's a video that we typically show at this point. It's a little dated, and I think we'll skip the video today, but it's the Lunita Jungle Experience, and I'll drop their link in the not in the chat, but in the content below the video once we finish making it. And a little bit about the accommodations, though. I think it's important that we note. Gee, can you see the screen show?
I can see the screen where it says enjoy the now.
Okay, so I'm scared. I'm still sharing my screen, and the slide has changed to the pricing.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So a little bit about the accommodations. Each room is they are the facility is prepared to accommodate between 8 and 16 guests. So it's a small, intimate environment. And we decided to offer 3 different packages. So the first package you see there is the single room package. That's $3,199. And with that package, you get a room with a queen size bed, I'm sorry, hot water, hot running water. There's a fan in each room. There's a private garden attached to each room. It really, although G has described it as a boutique hotel, and I think that's probably closer to the idea than most people might imagine if you think jungle hotel. One of the things that was important to us as we looked at and decided on Lunita as a partner is making sure that the comfort of our participants was their expectations were being met in terms of comfort and what they're used to. And so, we looked at places that were bigger, could accommodate more, had a few more amenities. But we felt like Lunita was perfect for us in that every man has a private restroom, with the cold and the hot water, and so in addition to the amenities, the facilities, the staff, the owners, we decided on this. And that first package is a single room occupancy. And so you have your own space to do your own thing, rest and relax as you will. The other 2 packages that we were offering is a double room, it's a shared room. One is a queen size bed. And so what they do is they bring in a smaller bed in that space. And I actually shared a space on our first retreat with 2 young men, and it was quite comfortable and really engaging, just an opportunity to extend the work that was happening in sessions and during the retreat into the evenings, into the night. And so if you would prefer a shared space, you have 2 options. One is you would get the queen size, the larger bed in the space at $2,799. And then the smaller bed is with that rate is $2,399. When we look at who pricing, when we determined the pricing for this particular retreat, we looked at folks who were doing similar sessions in terms of 5-day experiences and with the amenities and in our area. And what we found is that people were charging $700, $800, $900 a day and up, actually. And so we felt like this was a great price point for our guests. And the experience, we think, is, we are not getting away from, we are intentionally calling this an investment. And so the pricing also includes all of your accommodations, all of your meals. We pick you up from the airport. We bring you back to the airport. All your local transportation is included. There's a Temescal ceremony. There's which is a sweat lodge. Then there's a cenote experience immediately following the sweat lodge, where we go jump into the cooling waters of the natural environment. It's a natural swimming pool found only in this area. And if you haven't seen one, it's something that it's an unforgettable experience. We also bring in a Sister Kimberly who lives right up the road from us in Playa del Carmen, and she does a phenomenal job creating the sound bowl or the sound bath experience for us. This also includes a relaxing 45-minute massage. The banquet, we got this chef who opens up his restaurant for us, and it's exclusively for us. Beautiful late night in the jungle, vegan experience, vegetarian and vegan experience, as well as a t-shirt and a gift bag. And all of that, again, is for the investment that you see above. The payment at this point, there's a $500 non-refundable, and I say it's non-refundable. We had a couple of instances in our last retreat where men could not show up because of different health situations that came, unexpected health situations that came up, and so we were able to refund their deposits. And then there's an installment plan. At this point, there will be 3 payments. So it will be $500, whatever package you decide on, minus the $500, and then your payments would be broken up in 3 plans, or you could pay out front, pay how you want. The only requirement is that you're paid in full before you participate in the retreat. For men on this call today, we're offering a 15% discount if you register within the next 48 hours. So no matter what major city you're coming from in the States, well, for most major cities, and for all major cities on the East Coast and Midwest, it's the price of it's the cost of your airline ticket, which we do not cover. And we also do not cover any insurance, that travel insurance. The facility is insurance. The vehicles that we use are insured. And so you wouldn't have to worry about that upon your arrival. GM, did I leave anything out?
I think you covered it all.
Hey, right. Brother Adrian, welcome, man. I'm glad you could support us today. So that's the package. That's the experience. We did it right in 29 minutes, which is our target. We wanted to leave some space, some time right now for folks to answer questions or to ask questions, and we can answer any questions that you might have at this time. So I see we got 3 people in the room. I know we got Gerard and Adrian. I'm not sure who the third person is, and everybody is joining us from Facebook, which is interesting. If you haven't liked our YouTube channel already, please do at Self Mastery Retreats INT. It's international. Adrian, you like the second package? Yeah, Adrian and I connected on that first retreat. He reached out. He was interested in going and was planning. He recognized that the timing didn't work out for him on that first retreat, and so he said that he would consider join us for future retreats. So we hope, brother, that you can that you can join us on this retreat. And just as I stated earlier, that 15% is discount that we're offering today. Yes, you can split that room with a stranger. And I guarantee you, man, at the end of the 5-day experience, that brother will no longer be a stranger. Wow. My nephew, Julian, welcome. I appreciate you, family. I love you. So yeah, Adrian, at the end of the experience, brother, you won't be strangers, and so that is an option as well. And we do have a father-son scholarship, which I forgot to mention. And so if you are a father or a son and want to, and we can work it out so that the father pays the price and then the son comes on scholarship. We have 2 right now. And so you could get 2 for the price of one. So if there's a man out there who, Adrian, I'm not sure how old you are or how old your children are, but if you have a son who's over 18 and want to bring him along, the 2 of you could share that room. If you think your father might be interested, then he could apply, pay the regular rate, and then you could come as the scholarship recipient. And then you would be sharing that room with him. Gerard, you still with us? I know you got a bunch of questions. No? And your son is 2. Wow, he's a baby. So yeah, I know you got a lot going on in your house, brother. And so this will be a good chance for you to step away and refresh and reset, to come back better and stronger, to step into that role as a father and the father that the 2-year-old demands.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Gee, you want to add anything?
The investment is an investment in self, right? And you will return home feeling stronger, having a deeper sense of self, feeling more connected to other powerful men that you will be entered into the circle with, you will feel spiritually recharged. And this not only impacts your life, but it impacts the life of your children, your loved ones. This is a generational investment. And so, if you're considering coming to the retreat, understand that this investment not only impacts you, it impacts your loved ones as well. And that's an incredible return.
Absolutely. And I just dropped in the link our it's We Travel is the platform that we use to get out our to disseminate our information, but also to it's a payment platform, and so you can have all of your questions or any additional questions answered there at the link that I just shared with you. And if not, if you can't find it there, or if you just want to check in with either G and I, absolutely feel free. We're all connected on social media platforms. And G, you have Gerard, you have my information, my personal information. So we are available. And so feel free to contact us at your will. Our Facebook site has our number, and that'll put you directly in touch with me as well. We have any other questions? No.
I think a valuable question to ask also is, why self-mastery? Why now?
Good question.
We see on the other side of the equation the feminine divine. We see women in our community coming together in sisterhood. Women are dominating the retreat environment. And we also, you and I, Omar, because we're in touch with them, we see the return on the investment. We see their growth. We see their radiance. We see their power growing, right? We see that they come back from these retreats feeling recharged. And it's important for men to begin to make that same investment, right? It's important for us, particularly as Black men, to begin to invest in our spiritual well-being, our physical, emotional, mental well-being. The time is now, right? Like in the Black community, you and I, we've been around a long time. We've tried and we've been involved in many different things. Ultimately, it all comes back to self-mastery, mastering self. And I'm very clear, the only thing that I seek to master are the trillions of cells in my body, to master my thoughts and the trillions of cells in my body. Because at the end of the day, the name of the game is longevity and vitality. We need to reverse this trend where Black men are dying prematurely, having health issues, disease prematurely, depression, other mental illnesses, suicide rates, homicide rates, death rates continue to increase. And so the investment that we make in ourselves as self-mastery is to master the trillions of cells, the internal conversation, the mindset of who we are. Because once we can master that, everything else begins to fall in alignment with how we see ourselves as powerful spiritual beings with the ability to manifest our reality and consciously construct who we choose to be as Black men and our families and our communities.
Yeah, absolutely, G. Gerard has asked a couple questions, I think really questions that might add to you making the decision to join us. And after we respond to this, I think we could we can run through the itinerary just so you can get a better sense of what the time spent would look like. But Gerard wants to know is what were some of the takeaways that we got, G, that we didn't get to expect? That we didn't expect when we were planning this retreat is his first question. His second question is, what did we learn about ourselves as facilitators? And then the third one is, what were some of the biggest specific takeaways that we noticed in participants? I'd like to address that first question. because G and I had spent a year having this conversation about what the retreat might look like. First off, deciding on whether or not this was something that we wanted to do, and then talking about what it would look like, and then after making the decision, how it would actually look, the experience that we wanted to create, we knew it was going to be. We had no doubt that it would be an impactful experience for everybody who participated. And Gerard, to your point, and I'll speak for myself, I wasn't even thinking about myself, right? I was thinking about creating this container, this space. To get back to your first question, we could not have imagined. We had no way of expecting what each man brought to that experience. And I've got a video queued up I want to share after we answer this question. But the men who showed up for that first retreat, just the value that they brought was phenomenal. You know, the spirit, the energy, the willingness, the love that made it easy for us as facilitators. You know, and then I'll also say this: it was a very we had a number of highly skilled facilitators in that, and experienced facilitators in the group. So it really made G and I's job a lot easier.
But you know what, Omar? Just to add to that, the other part is that we created the space and the environment that each participant could be a facilitator from their own personal story.
Yeah.
Right? And so everybody took a step back when someone else stepped up, even when the 21-year-old stepped up and was sharing what it's like to be a young Black man and his experience. It's like we all became students, and he became the teacher of his experience from his perspective, you know, because we created the space for that to happen. And that was beautiful to see unfold.
You know, G mentioned that we had a 21-year-old, our youngest participant. Our oldest participant was 75 years old. And, you know, we had men from all walks of life. We had a college student. Our youngest participant was a college student. We had 20-year-olds who are, you know, early in their careers. We had men who have, you know, we had brothers who are directors and entrepreneurs and founders and creators of their own businesses and organizations. And then our oldest participant is a retiree. And so just the wealth of experience
that I've known since I was 4 years old.
Exactly. We had a father-son show up, you know, and that dynamic just added tremendous value as well. And that was kind of the input. We had given some thought to the idea of having a father-son package for the first retreat, but then that one just kind of happened because the brother just wanted to show up with his son. He blessed his son with a birthday gift. What I learned about myself in this retreat, first off, is that I still got a lot of work to do. And this is a process, and I get to recommit every morning to this process, right? And that's probably the biggest reminder that I got from this retreat. Is that it is an ongoing process, and it was a reminder that, you know, this is a lifestyle, it's a way of life, and you know, and I'm gonna just say this, right? I'm blessed. My partner, my brother, my mentor, you know, G's got me by a couple of years, man, and it shows. You know, he's been doing this work a little bit longer than I have, and so I have this model of what the possibility, the potential, you know. So when I look at the spectrum of the men who came, we represent a spectrum of mastery, and so for me, it was great for me to kind of see how I fit in that spectrum, where I am. It gave me a chance to look at, you know, some of the challenges that I had to overcome, but also appreciate that, celebrate that, but also refocus, recommit to the work ahead, you know. And so, and I think G and I have had this conversation afterwards. You know, I came back after the retreat, and my practice got tighter. You know, I was able to incorporate the keys. I'm able to reflect on my experience during that 5 days with those brothers, and, you know, enhance my practice. And for that third question, G, I'm going to let the video, and I call Gerard G too. So Gerard, I'm going to let the participants speak for themselves in a short video after I give G a chance to respond to your first two questions.
Would you read the questions again?
Yes, the first question is, what are some of the takeaways that you got that you didn't expect to get? And what did you learn about yourself as a facilitator?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of confirmation, affirmation of things that I have experienced and that I know. And so the retreat really, man, is when we get out of the way of spirit and allow spirit to be our guide in the experience, right? Because we called on the ancestors, we asked spirit to show up. Each and every man did that. To rest and relax in the knowledge that what is meant to happen will happen and it will be beautiful, right? And so to really actually sit back and to see it unfold, because this experience exceeded my expectations. I knew it was going to be an incredible experience, but I had no idea it was going to be off the chain the way that it was. And that is because if you, the people who are listening to this video, show up to the retreat, each of us brings something unique to the experience. We in the Thomascal, we had the shaman mentioned the name of the grandmother of one of the men who the grandmother was deceased, and she called on her presence and mentioned the guy's grandmother's name, right? And these are unexplained miraculous events that take place. And so part of the experience is to see the mystical, the magical, and the miraculous manifest itself in current time and space. And that was just an affirmation for me. Because I
Yeah.
know that I live in a magical, mystical world. Right? Like I don't just limit my world to what I can see with the physical eyes. Right? There's so much more going on. So that was a confirmation of that. And the second question is like the takeaway for me is that we as black men, we're thirsty for this. Like each of us, I mean, like we couldn't get enough. Even when the retreat was ready to end, to be over, none of us wanted it to end, right? And so the time is now. There is a small segment of the black community of men who are thirsty for these types of experience. This is not for the masses. The masses will continue to do what they do. There is a segment in our community that is thirsty for this type of experience, that want to connect. It is essential that we do connect. And so it was just more confirmation and affirmation of what this retreat brings and what it offers. And now this is really spiritual work. Right?
Yeah,
Like we saw things
absolutely.
happen and unfold before us that it's beyond our power to actually do, unless Spirit is the one that's guiding the process. We had scholarships. We gave 4 scholarships, and those scholarships came from the community, people who donated, right? Because they see the value, they see the investment, and so all of that, man, is part of the spiritual work that's done, and so it's confirmation and affirmation that
Yeah.
this has tremendous value.
And you mentioned the Temescal. I just want to share a story, a brief story. The Temescal, if you can imagine, it's a mini dome. It's a sweat lodge, no taller than 3.5 feet high. So it's a very close environment where men are together. In temperatures over 100 degrees, it gets hot in the sweat lodge, and it gets hotter as you progress through the stages. One of our participants, as I mentioned, was our oldest participant was 75 years old. My godson showed up at 28 years old, who has cerebral palsy, and so he walks with 2 canes, and it might appear that he's struggling because he walks in a way that you would if you have cerebral palsy, and so. They are next to each other. They're across from each other, right? And they both share this story that, and the example, I share this story as an example of how men bonded, how they connected, and how they drew from the strength of each other. they both when they left, and they stayed the entire time, both of them. But when they came out of it, they both said, I couldn't do it. I couldn't leave knowing that he was in here, and that if he could do it, I could do it. And they shared that same exact story. Before I share this video, I want to welcome Brother Michael Taylor, who was a master facilitator, a lover of our people, who gave us an opportunity to present on his show for our first retreat. So with that in mind, as a community builder and community facilitator, I want to ask everybody in the room to please share your social media platform, your information in the chat, so that we can all have access to it, and anybody who watches this can also have access to it. But I do want to, just to get to your third question, Gerard, share this video, which is, in their own words, participants from our first experience. I've never done this before, and so I think I have it set up so that you can hear the audio. If you can't, please let me know.
What's unique and transformative are the people that are here, that are organizing it. So spending time with Gerald and spending time with Omar in the space that they've created is transformative. And if you want, and I said, if you want to be able to deepen your practice, this is something that I believe you've never experienced before in a circle that you may have never been a part of.
And if any Black men or men in general want to do this, they absolutely should. They should invest in us.
I'm just grateful for what we've learned this week to talk about that. For anybody who's thinking about struggling with whether or not they should come here, all I got to say is you hear it inside of you. You have the drive to be here. You know you want to be here. That's the light inside of you, looking to commune with other lights so it can continue to shine and burn. And so make the decision in that moment.
Descubre Wix Studio, la plataforma.
Love that.
All right. So
I love that.
that's a little, that's in their own words. We have a few more minutes. We got about 10 more minutes. We want to wrap this up. G, I'm going to pull up just the itinerary. You mind walking us through that?
Sure.
And Michael, I'm using, I've decided on the StreamYard, which is pretty friendly, man. This is our first time using it, and I like it. I did not go with the other one. I forget the name of it, but this is the one we're using. And so this is our itinerary. I think that's the wrong screen. Let me see. All right, let me pull up the itinerary. And again, give me some grace as I pull this up.
So, as Omar is doing that, one of the words that you've heard us mention several times is the word practice. And so I'll go through this, and then if we have time, there may be some questions about what is the practice, what does that mean? Okay, so the first day we have a welcome and orientation, and so this is very organic, natural. We're welcoming you to the space. We go through the registration and check-in. We're connecting with one another, conversation. And so the first day is to get grounded in the environment, in the experience, and begin to start that connection with one another. Are you on the full screen? And we do a welcome reception. We do a welcome reception. And so that's really what the first day consists of. Omar and I were very conscious about creating space for men to come and relax. We didn't want to have a lot of busy to-do work. And so we want to create space where you can make the decision to attend workshops, to attend, different experiences or not, or just to be in your own space and ground as an individual. And so the first day is really to get you connected and grounded to the environment and to one another. And we have dinner at night, and the food is exceptional. Incredible food, just organic, delicious food that you would have. So the first day focus on just walking in and getting grounded to the experience. The second day we go into the keys, right? We're going into the first key, awareness who you are spiritually, awareness of your power. We go into the first key and the second key, acceptance of who you are, acceptance of your power. And we talk about the seven keys, and this is conversation, it's dialogue, introducing you to the keys, but you're speaking about it and learning from your own experience and shared experiences with one another. So we go into the first two keys on that second day. Um, on the third day, we go into the third and the fourth key, which is action and assessment. The second day, we also, in the third day, we have different outings where we're going to have lunch on the premises and then have dinner out into the community. But those first and second days, we go into the third and the fourth key, which is action and assessment. The fourth day, and we start each of these days with breath work, some flexibility and motion and movement to get the blood flowing. We start our days with a beautiful fruit breakfast, fresh juices, um, and we ease gently into the day, right? And then on that fourth day, we go into the next key, the fifth and the sixth key, integration. How do you integrate the new insight? How do you integrate the cause and effect of your actions into reconstructing your identity, into reconstructing your vocabulary? How do you and what do you integrate into the new being that you choose to consciously be? We definitely go more into this in sessions. The next key is the sixth key is celebration, which to me is one of the most powerful keys of them all, is that celebration, being able to celebrate on a daily basis who you are, your growth, your connection with communion, with spirit, celebrating so that you can stimulate neuroplasticity in the brain. One of the things that I focus on as a psychologist is neuroplasticity, which is the brain being stimulated to actually rewire itself. Celebration is the catalyst for transformation. Celebration is medication. And so we talk about celebrating who we are, but not just the big things, but also being aware of the little things that we can celebrate in our lives, our relationships, our connections with people, our health, right? Having a roof over your head, the growth that you experience on a daily basis, celebrating all of those victories because that stimulates in the brain the rewiring towards strength and power and away from those things that take our power away. Many of us have trauma, many of us have had experiences in our lives, and there's a need and an opportunity to actually restructure our brain, the neuroplasticity. And this is one of the things that we focus on, and this is the focus of the seven keys of self-mastery.
Yeah. All right. So, as I get back to our page and stop sharing this, that is, thank you, brother. We appreciate you. We love you. And thank you, everybody, for sharing their social media. My nephew has tremendous animation and work. That Jordan and Julian, if you would share your information, I'd appreciate it. Gerard, if you're still on the call, please share what you're doing with the Coltrane Festival in Hamlet, North Carolina. So, gentlemen, we have a couple more minutes. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat and we'll get to them. And if there aren't any further questions, you have our information. Please feel free to contact us. Gerard, before we close down, I want to give you and anybody else an opportunity. Coach Michael Taylor, I noticed you haven't shared your information. If you're still with us, please do so that people can follow you. Again, one of the things that we do want to do is build community. believe that we support each other. And so we give you an opportunity now to share your information. If you can't get to it, please come back and check this. You can check out the Facebook. We're live now on Facebook as well as YouTube. So if there are no further questions, I would like to close, and I'll just give you an opportunity to say a few words in closing, is that, I like the way that Rashad, the last brother on the video, talked about if you're feeling, if you're questioning right now, then this is the time to act. I can guarantee you, I can say pretty certainly that you can't find this experience anywhere else. And so, yes, we will, brother. Enjoy yourself, and thank you for joining us. I know you had work today, Brother Adrian. And so, if you're thinking about this, reach out to us. Check out our information. Reach out to us. Share this information with somebody you think it may resonate with. We got a couple months before we begin this second retreat, and we'd love to have you join us. And so, educate yourself, ask questions, and make this investment in yourself, because not only will you benefit from it, but your partners, your friends, your colleagues, professional and personal, everybody benefits. The effect that I think about the idea that when I change, the people around me change. And I think that that's true. It's been my experience, and I think you'll find it to be true as well. And so Gerard just shared Gerard is from Hamlet, North Carolina, home of John Coltrane. And Gerard has been putting on for at least 10 years, Gerard. 16 years. Wow. It's the John Coltrane Music Edutainment Festival. And so we talked a couple of days ago, and, because he understands our people and he loves our people, it's, the draw is entertainment, but the focus is education. And so in honor, and he pays homage and tribute to John Coltrane, who's from this Hamlet, North Carolina. But then he brings folks from the surrounding communities who are doing positive work to share with the brothers and sisters in the community. And it's expanded. At this point, it's 16 years. It seems like he just started this. And it's a 2-day event. That's a 1-day event. So check him out. And I got to say, he's a graduate alumni of North Carolina A&T, former class president. He's a veteran, just an all-around great human being. And I love you, Gerard. Thank you for your continued support, Black man. So, G, you want to close this out?
Yeah, I'm excited about the possibility and the opportunity of meeting the brothers that joined our session here today. Trust me that if you come to the Black Man Self-Mastery Retreat, there's going to be a transformative experience. 5 beautiful days in paradise, beautiful weather, in the Caribbean Ocean, experiencing the depths, the beauty, the radiance of Mother Nature, being around other Black men who are like-minded and focusing on self-mastery and making connections that are lifelong. This is what is the opportunity to invest in self. So I want to encourage you, because if you're here for a reason. That was one of the things that we all understand and know, that everything happens for a reason. Our paths cross for a reason. And so make that investment, do it today, and it will be a decision that will change your life and life of those that are around you.
Amen. Thank you, Jude. And again, thank everybody for joining us. I'm not sure if we can share this. I guess it will still be available on our Facebook, the Self-Mastery Retreat International Facebook page. And I know that it is available on our YouTube channel at Self-Mastery Retreats International. So thank you. God bless you, and much love, family. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Peace and blessings.
Peace.